The woman was hanging in midair, and the old man, with a pair of scissors in hand, decided to cut her pants. He then pulled out a vial of an unknown liquid and walked towards the woman. Realizing what was about to happen, the woman panicked and started screaming, but she had only herself to blame. You see, she was a thief and part of a 3-person theft gang. Mia was the brains of the group. Her boyfriend Roman handled the sale of stolen goods, and Andy's father ran a security company, which allowed them to easily obtain keys to luxury homes. They only took items, not money, and nothing worth more than $10,000. To minimize the legal consequences in case of getting caught, they always left broken glass behind to make it look like a break-in. It was a perfect scheme, but the earnings were too little, with only $5,000 left after selling the loot. Mia and Roman decided to go for a big score, then retire and live abroad. With the help of a black market contact, they targeted an old house. The owner was a retired veteran living alone, and he had received a $3 million compensation a year ago after his daughter's tragic car accident. This one job could set them up for retirement, but Andy objected because stealing more than $10,000 would lead to a 10-year prison sentence, at least. Despite Mia and Roman's persuasion, Andy initially declined. However, he received a message from Mia later. She had a reason for her actions. Mia's father had abandoned her and her mother spent her days drinking. Her only source of comfort was her younger sister, so Mia wanted to earn enough money to take her sister away from that place. Andy, despite his softer nature, eventually agreed to Mia's request. That day, they arrived in the neighborhood where the old house was located. After 3 days of scouting, they learned that there were no other residents in the vicinity, within a radius of 30 kilometers, and even the police rarely came to that area. They also discovered that the old veteran was blind, so it seemed like even fate was on their side. Around 2:30 in the morning, they first used a tranquilizer to put the guard dog to sleep. However, as Roman was about to use the key to open the door, they realized the old veteran had added 3 locks to it. They were stuck until Mia spotted a window on the 2nd floor. She threw a brick to shatter the glass and, with her slim figure, squeezed inside. She used a security remote to disable the alarm and carefully opened the door, letting the others inside, to avoid making noise. They all took off their shoes and began searching for the $3 million. Roman cautiously entered the veteran's bedroom, where a video of the veteran's daughter as a child was playing on the TV. Just as Roman was preparing to use the tranquilizer on the veteran, the old man suddenly sat up. This sent Roman into a cold sweat, but fortunately, the old man only got up to turn off the TV. Roman was relieved and, after placing the tranquilizer back, quietly left the room. They moved downstairs, their eyes locked on a locked door. Roman tried desperately to open it but failed. Frustrated, he unexpectedly pulled out a gun, which terrified Andy. Stealing was one thing, but armed robbery carried much harsher penalties. Andy grabbed Mia, wanting to leave, but Mia was determined to take the risk. Roman attached a silencer to his gun and, with a gunshot, the locked door was instantly open. Andy didn't want to get into trouble and left the scene, but just as Roman opened the door...
Oh, who's there?
What are you gonna do now, huh? You better fucking stop!
The blind veteran took down the intruding thief with just one move. He then asked Roman how many thieves were there, but Roman, not being honest, didn't mention Mia who was standing nearby. When he heard that there was only one, the veteran relaxed his grip, and Roman, thinking everything was okay, let out a sigh of relief. But in the next moment, Mia, hiding nearby, was terrified as she witnessed Roman being killed. She controlled her breath and hid in the closet without making a sound. Meanwhile, the other accomplice, Andy, who had just left, was startled by the gunshot. Worried about Mia, he returned and nearly collided with the veteran. Sensing the danger, the veteran locked the door again and sealed the windows. After doing all this and leaving, Andy received a message from Mia, informing him that she was hiding in the closet. Just as Mia was about to escape, the veteran suddenly arrived in the closet. Unexpectedly, Mia found a surprise because the veteran's safe was hidden there. The veteran had come to confirm whether the money was still there. Mia secretly watched the veteran and, after he left, quietly noted down the password. At the same time, Andy also sneakily arrived and urged Mia to call the police and settle the matter. However, Mia ignored Andy and, after pressing the password, opened the safe and packed all the money into her backpack. Now that they had the money, the issue was how to get out. Andy suddenly remembered the basement he saw before entering. The door there was locked from the inside, so maybe they could escape from there. The two of them stood up to make their escape, but just as Mia reached the door of the basement, she was petrified, standing still. Fortunately, the veteran had only come back to deal with Roman's body. However, just as Mia and Andy were about to leave, Andy made a noise stepping on the floor, instantly feeling that something was amiss. The veteran raised his gun, searching for the source of the sound. Both Andy and Mia dared not even breathe at that moment. Just as the veteran relaxed his guard, Mia and Andy were on the verge of collapsing. At this point, The veteran confirmed that there was no one else in the house and turned off his phone, throwing it into his backpack. While he was busy handling the body, the two successfully sneaked into the basement. Just then, the veteran suddenly caught a whiff of something and found Roman's shoes. However, when he touched them, he realized they were different and gave off different smells. Now the veteran was sure that there was more than one thief. He quickly went to the closet and found that the money in the safe was gone. This made the veteran extremely angry. On the other side, Mia and the others got lost in the basement, but when they found the switch and turned on the light, they were shocked by what they saw. They discovered a woman locked in the basement. Through a newspaper, they learned that she was the person who accidentally killed the veteran's daughter and was imprisoned by him due to dissatisfaction with the sentence. Just as the bell rang, waking the veteran up, he was rushing towards the basement. At this moment, the woman reminded Mia and the others to look at the nearby safe. Luckily, Mia remembered the password from the upstairs safe, and Andy successfully obtained the key. The three of them started to escape towards the door. Andy successfully unlocked the basement door, but just as they were about to open it, something unexpected happened. The veteran shot and killed the woman. What shocked Mia was that, upon learning of the woman's death, the veteran held her in his arms, calling her his darling. Even more puzzling was the veteran's intense anger at his enemy's death. He completely locked the door and cut off the power. Being blind, he was used to the darkness, but for Mia and her companion, it made their movements extremely difficult. Any slight noise would be met with bullets. In the darkness, Mia groped her way forward, almost running into the veteran. Fortunately, Andy made a noise, saving her life, but in doing so, he exposed their position. The veteran put the gun to Andy's head, but coincidentally, there were no bullets in the gun. So, the veteran resorted to using his hands, choking Andy fiercely. Despite the veteran's attempts to end Andy with his hands, Andy, leveraging his physical advantage, slammed into a shelf, then followed the sound and found Mia. The two continued to explore in the darkness and soon found a glowing door. Once outside, they quickly blocked the door with tools. Unfortunately, the hunting dog they had previously knocked out had awakened and was about to pounce on them. They hurriedly ran upstairs and randomly entered a room, only to find that the windows had been sealed shut. Meanwhile, the veteran emerged from the basement and, in the bedroom, pulled out a revolver and shot at the door lock in desperation. In their haste, the two discovered a ventilation shaft, and Mia crawled in first. However, the dog knocked Andy down onto the glass on the first floor. As Andy slowly regained consciousness and attempted to move to the side, the veteran fired a shot.